right? That was a big trope. Um, Irresponsible individual, generally speaking. Shout out to my man, Beautiful Lies. Man, I got all the superstars coming through tonight. What's happening? There he is, man. El Guajo. But anyway, like I said, we've basically been irresponsible. We've been absent fathers. We've been, you know, all the horrible things. But the truth is, and just on that subject of absent fathers, we set the record straight for hard facts. Did you know that in 2015, the CDC showed that black fathers, they have a study that showed that black fathers are the most involved with their children compared to fathers of every other racial group. And yeah, you heard that right. And despite what the mainstream narrative tells you, black men are deeply committed to their children's lives. Shout out to my man Mark Freelancer. No, I'm gonna read everybody's super chats a little later, okay? But I want to just kind of flow through this real quick and make sure I give everybody a shout out. But since we're so early in the show, I like to try to wait to the last minute before we get up out of here and read things. But I'm definitely gonna give you guys a shout out. So keep them coming if you hear something that inspires you. But anyway, so this whole deadbeat dad narrative, just straight up lies and which truths. And despite what the mainstream narratives tell you, black men are deeply committed to our kids. As I said, now let's talk about responsibility, right? Responsibility generally. Studies indicate that black men have the highest rate of contraceptive use amongst all groups of men, which means they're putting on the Jimmy hat. Somebody type Jimmy hat in the chat room. I'm giving out my age by telling you Jimmy hat, okay? For plastics, we have the highest use of contraceptive amongst all men. You would never hear that. You would never hear that. Nobody's ever said that. Shout out to my man TCM in the conversation. And so, you know, that lets you, we're taking proactive steps to be responsible in our relationship and our in our community. And here's another thing, 51% of black men in the U.S. don't even have kids, all right? And then if you look at the fact that 31% of black men are married, and so what does that mean? If, people lie, numbers don't. That means about 18% of the children are being that means about 18% of the men who are left, right, who aren't married and who have children, they're the ones fathering about 80% of these kids out here. Yet we get vilified, right? We get vilified for being sexually irresponsible because it's easier to sell fear and stereotypes than to face complex reality. Number one, all of societies have issues. Now, what we need to do as black men, right? Somebody type black men in the chat room. What we need to do is challenge these narratives head on. Black men are not a monolith of negativity. We're fathers, we're husbands, we're community leaders, we're trailblazers. It's time that we own our truth and reshape the dialogue around who we are. However, okay? Somebody type however. Anytime a lawyer says however, that means he's going to reverse course and say the exact opposite of what he just said. So however, fellas, pretending to be goody two-shoes has not worked. All right? Has it worked? Negro, has that worked for you? Huh? Got that fine white woman, got that good degree from the Ivy League, university, riding around in your Beamer, your Benz,
money, man.
Rolls Royce, and you still get pulled over by the police with your proper sounding talking stuff. Oh my God, I don't understand. Why are you pulling me over, officer? Right? So that didn't work. So my suggestion, fellas, is that you go ahead and embrace being the bad guy.
Embrace being the bad guy. Say hello to the bad guy.
The benefits of being the bad guy. I posted this up earlier. This is a quote. This is something I've been telling you guys for years now. You're the bad guy even if you're good. So why not enjoy the benefits of being a bad guy? Enjoy being the bad guy. Okay? That might sound revolutionary. What the hell is Uncle D talking about? Well, let me explain the quote first. All right? So the quote, you're the bad guy even if you're good, but why not enjoy the benefits of being the bad guy? Basically, in the part where I say enjoy being the bad guy, frankly, it reflects a cynical view on morality and perception. But if we break it down, we can do so part by part. First, I'm not telling you to break any laws. Okay?
1, 2, 1, 2.
Some kooky inclined people out here who be like, well, you said being the bad guy, that's why I'm in here robbing liquor store for 40 ounces right now. No, that's not what I'm telling you. And if you take this occasion and what I'm saying to justify your low-class criminal behavior, you're headed in the wrong direction. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm asking you to break the mental shackles that the dominant society and you might type lovely ladies in the chat room and this matriarchal Black American subculture or Black society has placed on. By openly embracing the bad guy persona, Black men will free yourselves. Somebody type freedom doctrine in the chat room. You'll be free to live your lives. You'll be free to find peace of mind and happiness. That's what I'm talking about. See, fellas, you're the bad guy even if you're good. That's part of the quote. And what I'm suggesting is that no matter how good or well-intentioned you are as a Black man, or how well you play the piano and wear the tuxedo everywhere you go, you're still perceived or labeled as the bad guy. Others in the dominant society, a lot of deaf, dumb, and blind, lovely ladies and Black men in the Black community. And this perception is due to a purposeful misunderstandings and biases and societal dynamics that were in place before you or I were born. That's what that part means. Now, so why not, and this is my suggestion to you, why not just enjoy the benefits of being a bad guy? Given that you're going to be labeled as a bad guy regardless of your action, you might as well embrace it and take advantage of the benefits that come along with that label. So, what am I saying do? I'm saying, hey, let's just go ahead and accept this misjudgment. That's rough, right?
Misjudgment.
And see, what this quote does is it acknowledges that even your good actions as a Black man can be misinterpreted or go unrecognized. How many Black fathers do we have out here who are doing great? How many Black fathers are unrecognized? But the deadbeat dads always get the press. You see? And so what I'm saying is, when I make the quote, so why not enjoy the benefits to the bad guy? I'm just saying, accept the inevitable misjudgment. Right? It leads to the conclusion that trying to be perceived as good is futile. And we've realized that we've been here for over 400 years and we still the bad guy. No matter how many balls we run up and down the football field, how many hoops we make, how many baseballs we hit over center field, how many heroes we have, Black men are still considered the bad guy. You see? And here's the thing, embracing this so-called negative label of bad guy, it would be more satisfying because it removes the pressure to try to conform and be the so-called good guy. And it allows you as a Black man to act freely and do what's in your best interest. You see? It's a rebellion against the norm. See, this quote is an act of defiance. Somebody type defiance in the chat room. It's defiance of what we call conventional moral standards as imposed upon us by the society that we live in. By encouraging my brothers to enjoy the benefits of being the bad guy, it implies that we're rejecting what is the societal norms, which are often laced with racism and bigotry directed against anti-Black men and anti-Black male misogyny. Listen, you see? It promotes a mindset that prioritizes personal gain over societal approval or ethical considerations, because you make a lot of sacrifices that you would otherwise are not in your interest. You see? The other thing I'm doing is very subtly.
That's good. And this is the Dennis Sperling podcast at Dennis Sperling, Spurling. That's Dennis with two N's, DENNIS SPURLING. Got 69 point, about to hit 70 subscribers. I'm subscribed. I've been subscribed. Cool brother. You know what I mean? He's politically, he's independent. You know, he speaks that. It's funny because he looks like he kind of favors my cousin Jeffrey. Shout out to my cousin Jeffrey. I love Jeffrey to death. You know, and I've had minor debates with my cousin because he's a leftist. He's you know, I wouldn't say he's a simp. I wouldn't say that about Mr. C either. I believe they really want, you know, love in their lives. That's what everybody really wants, you know. And that's kind of what Dennis is alluding to. It is in all your efforts to either be, you know, fatherhood, brotherhood, or manhood, right? We should have the legal right to practice all three of those. But in this country, it's not happening, especially for black men. That's what I'm trying to help people understand, and it does get frustrating because all you can do is offer the truth. You know, like no, they did create political policies to try to stimulate equity is what they want to use. That's not equality. You know, so it is. You know, she's in charge. All right, cool. All right, what do we do here? We build. You know, I'm trying to think of something. We build Legos. It's so simple, right? And we build Lego sets. You know, houses by the Legos for the kids. And one, she hates Legos. Two, she doesn't have the patience to put the Legos together, right? And three, you know, she's not good at solving puzzles, right? But they put her in charge. So as a black man, you find yourself in a situation of, oh, let me show you how to do it. But that once you do that automatically puts you in a position of power over her. And if she is mentally messed up, be prepared to look for another job. Right? It's not willing to learn. Like you are dealing with a fool. I don't want to learn. But I'm in charge, right? And that's what we as black men find ourselves, especially when it comes to raising our own children. Of course, the women's going to say that they have a slight edge when raising a little daughter. But they want to believe that they have an edge when raising a son. I mean, you don't get more hypocritical than that. And that's therein is the truth. That's why we can't even sit together and watch Boys in the Hood for a second, for example, because that's the moral of the story. The moral of the story is that kid turned 10 years old. When Trey turned 10, it was his father's turn to raise him. She went off and did her own thing. He learned from his father. And then as you notice, out of everybody that in that neighborhood at the end of the story, Trey's the only one that's lived. Because Trey got out the car. Because his dad told him, yo, don't. Get out that car. Right? My dad taught me the same thing. Right? And yes, I've been in the car. And the only reason why they trusted me, because they knew that I was the guy that was saying, yo, put that gun away. Leave that under the seat. I'll go talk to him. Like, you willing to go talk to them unarmed? Yeah, I'll go talk to them. And go talk to them. And they'll back up. We just trying to boom, 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 whatever. You know what I mean? Cool. But, yo, family, y'all can have these, whatever. We out. Right? And might have saved our lives doing it that way. You know? I've been the one that's, yo, these dudes attacked us. They attacked you personally. Let's go get them. Nah, don't worry about it. It's just some glasses. It's just a chain, right? It's whatever it was, right? It was over a girl, man. For what? She wasn't even righteous. Well, why am I doing that? And because I stood in that presence, I gained the respect. Sometimes they went on revenge on their own. And it's not even ironic that I don't see those fellows today. I have friends that I'm still looking for that we were BFF, whatever y'all want to call it, the weirdness, right? That's the weirdness. No, we was good friends. We hung out together. We played chess together. We did, right? But we older now. You know what I mean? I got kids. All right, you got kids. Got a wife. Beautiful. Maybe for the 4th of July or maybe Juneteenth we can light the grill. No matter. Let me know. I'll try to shoot through. All right. I know the fellows is, from the hood is throwing together Uptown Day or something like that. I wish I could come and see y'all and hang out. But you know what I mean? The way things is working, it's hard to move in this. You know what I mean? I gotta save up and get my kids some, sneakers for school. I gotta figure out how to, do this XYZ because this economy is horrible. Therein is what the issue that I had with tonight's debate, right? And as I look at, everybody ignored it, right? All my black men ignored it because they already knew. They already knew what to expect. They already know it was a waste of our time. Right? I'm sitting here watching it, eating popcorn, laughing because they did everything in their power to not address the issue with the black family. That's what black men have been talking about. They want to do everything in their power to not address the issues with the black family. That's why I decided to start off with Dennis today. Because Dennis has been outcasted as being the manosphere, and he's one of the few that's farthest from the manosphere. Right? That's not his movement. But they're pointing at him like he's the bad guy, like he's the leader of the manosphere. I'm like, yo, Dennis ain't got nothing to do with it, really. Right? We'll tell you who it is. Right? I shared what is his name? I know his name. I.B. Moore. Yeah, whatever. I'll share him again. He's the old head. Mr. C met him and tried rapping to him, and he's the one that brought up that the one that FD Signifier was pointing at. When he points at, that's the gentleman that he's pointing at. It ain't even the young boy that I like more so is Sergeant Willie Pete. Like, you know what I mean? Sergeant Willie Pete's a good dude. I understand Sergeant Willie Pete's part, but I'm laughing at his latest videos because he's finding himself trying to, because the young boys looked up to him because I think he might be Generation Y. Right? So he's trying to communicate with the baby boomers, right? and few Generation X is really giving him credit. Like, I give them all the credit in the world. I'm like, yo, you were on point with it, fam. But you know where the one thing they got you at, and Mr. C at, is that y'all pro-abortion. You know what I mean? As long as y'all like that, they're gonna use that against you. All right? Because now you're willing to say, I messed up with her. I gotta, pay for that. I gotta give her a pill. I gotta do something to, take that baby away. And it's like, dude, if your movement was to have a child, there's your child, right? But you felt those. I mean, dude, I pray for your soul, right? So once you have a child, that's your child, as the man, right? My son is my son. Of course, she wants to go, his mom wants to go, it's mine too, and you gotta share, and when you finish, right? It's like, it's not that I don't share, it's, we need to work out every day. We need to do mathematics every day. We need to, Like, these are the things that we have to do in order to build. We need to go in the neighborhood, walk the neighborhood, see if, wash some cars or something. Because the economy is that bad. Yeah, we can go knock door to, we can go to Popeye's Chicken. Hey, sons, maybe you can work at Popeye's Chicken, right? And they're going to do what they do. They might give them a part-time or whatever, a couple hours. But it's like, son, you do realize you can make more money getting a couple clients as far as washing cars or mowing lawns or whatever it is that you want to do in the neighborhood, right? I forget what's the name. Some people have some great ideas in entrepreneurship and starting your own little small-time business, being 13, 14, 15 years old or whatever. Right? They shouldn't be working for no corporation trying to, flip burgers, right? That's usually a little older, 16, 17, 18 or something. And even that's to be a little side cash on top of what they're able to do on their hustle tip. If they're continuing mowing lawns or whatever, right? Or even working together to mow lawn. But we don't want to see it that way. We rather, outsource those kind of jobs to immigrants. So they set up their businesses and they cutting lawns and they getting the contracts with, the big corporations to do the gardening. We've been seeing this for decades. So those jobs aren't available for our children. Our children try to go into the workplace and then find themselves, being set up. They'll set them up in easy. I've seen it happen. Yeah, go get that out the cooler. All right, get the soda spray. Like, boom, boom, boom. Oh, you opened that without paying for it first? Bye, see you. Even though they probably told them to do that. Like, I've seen it. So when they tried to play that same kind of game as me as the manager, like, nah, you ain't gonna catch me. Nah, you saying I can do that, but put it in writing. But then they want to put in writing, you committing fraud. So it's like, all right, y'all want to tell the government that I'm committing fraud? We can go forward and say, and argue and debate about it. And of course, they didn't want to do that, but that's what the government gave them the power to do. That's why I'm anti-Biden, right? The most honest thing Trump said was, even as the president-elect, I can make the changes that will help Americans recover from what this idiot has done. Because that's when it happened. As soon as he became the president-elect, he had a conference with the black, what was they called? There's no saying, the black caucus, right? Quote unquote caucus. Al Sharpton and them. And he berated them. Like, I've shared that video over and over again. And he treated them like they were less than human beings. And of course, we're not going to see that or say that, but somebody leaked that. Somebody in that room leaked it. Look at how he's treating us. He's not allowing us to do anything. And he's telling you right now what's about to go down. And that's when, I mean, it was like the very next day. That's when my district came in. It was like, well, sign here, start your new job next month. Right? It could have been whatever. It doesn't matter, right? They knew I wasn't going to take that next shot, so I was already outcasted from the door. Like, no, I just took a flu shot. I'm not taking another one in 4 months. You know what I mean? I'll wait. I'll distribute it to the customers, but I'll wait until October is when I usually get it anyway, when the flu season actually hits. And I want to do some more research on what it is that I'm taking. But no, right? Biden made it mandatory. And yes, a lot of people died taking it. More people died taking it than when we didn't take it under Trump. And y'all want to just act naive and act like that's not the case, or y'all just want to ignore the amount of evil that Biden has participated in. And then point at other people saying it's their hate. No, actually, stop blaming yourself. You're admitting that you don't listen to nothing in politics. It's not a coincidence that they're leapfrogging Harris to be his replacement. No, it's not even a coincidence. And that's only going to make Trump stronger, right? Because he changed all the good things that Trump was doing, quote unquote, for the better. Yet, black people are more divorced. Families are being even, like, you know what I mean? It's like, what, 30% more divorce rate in the black community. We was already 67% single parented homes, right? And Dennis was just telling you, like, it's not the men that's getting married to women and trying to build something. It's actually, right, women that are having multiple baby daddies. So it's not my place to judge. But if you find yourself with multiple baby daddies and they all deadbeats, that percentage of deadbeat daddies is small. Yes, the community, we're still trying to help you, but we're also trying to help the widows that lost their husbands during this pandemic. That's what we have to do in order to rebuild this community. But if y'all keep acting like women are working together to fix these problems, when you can't point to a bigger lie than that, period. These women are only concerned with themselves. They're not worried about the children. They're not worried about the children's relationship with their father. They're not worried about the children getting proper education because they can't afford to go to the schools. Yes, it's corny to me because I was trying to be a teacher in the school district that I'm in. But because of racism in the form called white supremacy, where the family has to be a part of the community, I'm dealing with Joe Biden that's destroying the black family with his policy. So instead of fatherhood, motherhood, brotherhood, sisterhood, that proper order, I'm dealing with, just because it's in the Bible doesn't mean you putting the Bible ahead of us as the idolatry. And it's like, y'all don't believe her? That's why I'm laughing, because y'all don't believe her. And the reason why you should believe her, because she's possessed by a demon. Right? But y'all want to point at black men and say that we're the ones possessed by demons. So, like he was just saying, say hello to the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. Right? I'm trying to teach game theory as a strategy. That's what it is. It is a strategy. It is the art of logical thinking, or the law of reason. Y'all trying to reason without the laws. Those are the 10 commandments. Now you can reason. Without those things, you can't reason. Logical thought, yes or no. Anything else, that's the evil one. That's not God. Yes, Matthew 5, 6, and 7. I mean, go look it up yourself. Sorry. I mean, gee. How many times I got to give the exact quote, the exact verse? I got to read it. Then, after you read it, you start to understand it. Then you put real wisdom in your heart, which is honesty, humility, sacrifice, spirituality, right? Not false pride. That's the evil one. She's saying it's the book that's the problem. It's the words in that book. What book do you use? I don't need a book. All right. Step away from her. Lightning about to strike. And she's not going to become Wonder Woman. Yeah, I just like demoing games. Y'all see me, I fought all the bad guys from a distance. Next time I'll go in there, more kamikaze and swing my swords and, cut their heads off and all that fly stuff. But I just wanted to jump on with my version of the post debate, because I sat here and watched it. It was hypocritical. It was oh, jeez. Like, I mean, seriously, like, you know what I mean? Now seeing they're gonna be like, they're in panic mode. I mean, finally, like, they finally in panic mode. And then notice they're not talking about Kamala taking his place. So, I mean, you don't get more hypocritical than that. Then, okay, we got to talk about this white liberal governor of California who's their whole nation is crashing, and that's why my cousin Mississippi losing his mind. But I love him, yo. I've always wished the best for him. You know what I mean? But he's the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. Bobby's the bad guy. But I couldn't mention some real bad guys. Al Sharpton, he's the bad guy. Yes, he's the bad guy. Umar, yeah, he's an idiot. Trying to tell y'all, he got a snow bunny pregnant. Who else? I mean, there's a whole list of them. Mark Lamont Hill, yeah, he's a noodle. All right, he wants to be the leader. And wants to justify the LGBT, like exactly, like that's the problem, dude. Like that ain't hip hop, never been hip hop. That's all I've been saying, right? I'm not saying I hate them. I'm saying that that's not my culture. It's never been my culture. I claimed my culture when I was 12 years old, younger than that actually. And I was in my grandmother's basement, and my auntie was the disco queen. We was down there, and they might even play YMCA, and I wasn't hating on the song. I didn't understand what it was. It was like, whatever, play that hip hop, hip to the hip hop. You don't stop, or rock it to the bang bang, boogie the up jump, the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. They called it all disco, but now they want to blame it on rap music. irony is hilarious. It's not the village people, but that is hip hop. That's what they want to tell you, right? They the hippies. And it's like, yo, you do know Charles Manson, and they were the real hippies, right? And you seen all the drugs they was doing, and they started killing and murdering people out there in California like they was possessed. So here we are saying, yo, we got to put these drugs, or we got to leave these drugs on. I mean, Chuck D said put the Buddha down a couple times, right? Put the Buddha down. Can't trust it, right? Yeah, that's can't trust it. I'm my fault, Chuck. I got to practice, right? But I think Chuck D starting to understand. That's why Chuck D ain't saying nothing about nothing, no debate, nothing. Like, nah, we gonna try to build this hip hop alliance, and I appreciate him for helping trying to build it. I'm saying, yo, it's a union. We might as well get into politics too, right? Yeah, we know it was a farce. I knew it was gonna be a farce, right? But y'all wanted to say that I'm the one hateful because I point at Biden and say I hate him, which is, weak. Hate is weak. Love is strong, right? And it's like, well, you say that you hate Trump too. Like, nah. Trump's an idiot, but you know what I mean? He actually made sense. He's the only one that kept saying, yo, what you did to black people was disgraceful. He's the only one that wanted to talk about us as our own people, right? Nobody else wanted to talk about black people. Trump tried. He ain't do his best, but he tried a little bit. Like, yo, what y'all did to black people, what y'all did to Hispanics. He mentioned the Hispanics. That's what's funny, right? Because the Hispanics even going, they from Venezuela, they from Colombia. That ain't Puerto Rico. That ain't Dominican, right? Because they know the difference. So shout out to my Puerto Rican mamacitas and the fellows, the Latino, the boys, right? But I've been training from day one. Jamaicans, Haitians are also a Latino, and that's where y'all being dishonest, right? They not Hispanic, they Latino. More French than than Espanol, right? And all of y'all has always been my family. Y'all have always invited me to eat some arroz con pollo with the Goya and the pig roast, and right. Even had your cousins winking at me or your sisters linking at me, like, all right, that's what's up. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't really considered hopping the fence, but something in me said I wanted a black wife and a black son, and God blessed me with one. And I'm not. That's not what I'm upset about. What I'm upset about is that they are threatening me economically, socially, spiritually, right? Because if I don't vote for Biden, then I'm going to lose everything, my house, my credibility. I'm going to lose all of that because I'm going to vote for Trump, right? Yeah, I would vote for Robert Kennedy Jr. But like I keep telling y'all, Robert Kennedy Jr. is actually kind of disrespectful to Fred Hampton Jr. Just 100, right? That's why it's like, nah, drive. You got something wrong with your brain. Yeah, you need to sit out too, right? But I do like the crazy professor. We know their names, whatever, but he's basically Al Sharpton, independent Al Sharpton to me, really. Like, they trying, but you're being dishonest when you just, instead of the actual logical definition and understanding the art of the logic and negation of having a subject like love, to say not love would be false. That is, of course, love being true, right? But they want to tell you that love is false, hence not love is true. And it's like, not love is true then? That's kind of weird to me, right? And that's basically what Dennis is trying to say. Just accept it, man. You're not going to love you. Say hello to the bad guy, right? And there we have it. So, hope y'all enjoyed the little gameplay that I gave y'all for this was Tears of the Kingdom. I know I promised. That's why I just said let me just jump on, shoot some fire arrows and blow some stuff up, and show you how it can get intense. But it can get real intense on this game. But let me build my character up, find some more. I just lost 3 bombs. I got to find out where can I find these. Find stuff that I'll be looking for sometimes. Like, that's what I think I got to do some farming. So I'm going to do some farming, see if I can find some bombs. That way I can do some more bomb arrows and for more arrows and, what is it called? It's not called gil, rupees. So that I can maybe buy some arrows and be prepare myself to go into the pits of HELL hockey sticks, just in case my son's listening. But he knows, knows what hell is, but it is our way to say is more to us than foul language, right? We're an intelligent movement. Hip means to know. It's a form of intelligence. To be hip means to be up to date and relevant. Hop, that's a form of movement. You can't just observe a hop. You got to hop up and do it. Hip and hop is more than use it. Hip is that knowledge. Hop is that movement. Hip and hop is intelligent movement or relevant movement. We selling the music. Write this down. Black Good Journal. Hip hop culture is eternal. Run and tell all your friends. An ancient civilization has been born again. Shout out again, as always, to the Glassmaster KRS-One. Number 5 on my list. That includes the Boogie Down production. Because I like to measure mine as crew. We don't do these things. As far as hip hop, we don't do it solo. It takes a crew, right? At number 4, I like Dougie Fresh, Slick Rick, and the Get Fresh crew. You can include Run DMC in that if you want, because they are part of the same clique. But if y'all want Run DMC to be separate, we'll separate them. Whatever. Nothing. Number 3, I've been doing EPMD, just because I like EPMD with K Solo, who's always been kind of underrated as a MC rapper, right? Redman has always been a part of that clique, and even what's his name, Keith Murray, right? So we dealing with that kind of a crew right there with EPMD, right? Then number 2, I got the Juice Crew. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than the Juice Crew, right? The Juice Crew is Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, Biz Markie, Master Ace, the list goes on. Roxanne Shante, Craig G, and my fault, MC Shan, right? With Marley Marl. Marley Marl also did Eric B. and Rakim, who's my number 1. And if you turn over that first album cover, on the back there, that's his crew. Some of them, it's hold on, somebody else is on there. It might be Flavor Flav might be on this, so you can include Chuck D in them if you want. Public Enemy, right? So that's my top 5 right now. We'll get into the second half, 6 through 10. Like I said, 10 to 1. I'm gonna have Wu-Tang be the 10th, because the way I do my list is Clan, it's Wu-Tang Clan, and once you give it to Wu-Tang, I mean, that microphone is dead, right? I mean, seriously, like, who else do you want to go after Wu-Tang? Like, you know what I mean? Y'all really want to talk about 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? So then they're in the fillers in between that 10th spot and the number 1 spot. If we was to have what did they used to have? The hippies used to have was hippie fest where everybody getting high and out of control and like that. Nah, that was never really hip hop like that. Yeah, we might, get a little sippy sip and, get a little flavor going. But to be doing hard knock drugs that have you seeing demons and listening to them, that's not good. Like I always like to, say though, and put my last list, the other list together. Because yes, I couldn't mention John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy being martyrs also of the 1960s, because they were. I like to include Ronald Reagan to be funny, because we all we want to do is attack him for being a Republican and hating black people so much. But the one thing that Ronald Reagan gave us that no president after him gave us until really, Don tried to, is freedom of speech. Ron actually gave us freedom of speech. That's why hip hop took off the way that it did. He gave us freedom of speech. He gave us the ability to go on Donahue. I think I said Chuck D and Run DMC, but it was actually Chuck D and Karis One. They used to go on those type shows and talk about reparations for hip hop, black people. So why aren't we talking about it during a debate? Because they want you to believe that you're not worthy of it. You're not worthy of being talked about as a black community. That's how they feel about you. And they did it to protect Biden. Because we already know Trump's answer. Listen, the way I had the economy set up, my platinum plan would have easily been inserted into what goals we needed to do as a nation. And I was talking about $500 billion invested into the black community. Checkmate. So like I've been saying, that's when it comes to hip hop, we started off as a left movement because of our first martyr, our first profit, not profit with making cash, profit as far as us being a united people. And I'm talking about Malcolm X. Then I'm talking about Martin Luther King. Then I'm talking about Kwame Ture. Then I'm talking about Muhammad Ali. And lastly, number 5, Bobby Still. Pray for him. Still praying for you, sir. And anybody else that's going through the struggle, because we all are, and they acting like we don't matter. I thought Black Lives Matter, right? That's my question about it. I thought Black Lives Matter. They matter? No, not according to you. You didn't even mention us as a group. You didn't even mention us as a people when it came to helping out our community tonight on that debate. Am I right or wrong? So, forget you, right? Because they're going to get rid of you. And then they're going to replace you with more ignorance. Daddy Volo, I ain't mean to give you a whole hour, but it happens like that sometimes. As you see, my rhyme was a little more flow tonight because I got it up a little volume a little bit. I figure 40 still works when it comes to my voice and being projected on this thing. And I really enjoy doing this. Like, subscribe, share. I'll be back with more gameplay, I promise, and less of me rapping about the evils of man. But I get it. I'm the bad guy. So say hello to the bad guy. 1. God, our Father, the art of fact. Time is universal, like your order. That's freedom. Justice and equality. I want to take truth, love, and courage. I'm just keeping it 100. That's the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion. Truth, love, and courage. That's how it works. So when we really ready to have a discussion about 3 colors of the spectrum of the 3 primary colors of the rainbow, how it generates 6, 7 infinitely numbers of colors in the universe, or in our universe, or on our planet Earth, then we can have a nice, intelligent conversation about STEM, which is converting your soul, truth, enlightenment, and morality into the idea of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Volo, modulus, tautology. I'm out.